right, folks, and welcome to another edition of Kansas City Huddle. Raucous crowd in the house tonight. Thank you all for coming out. How about that? We're all fired up for our guest, Chief Safety Jaden Hicks. Thanks for coming in, Mr. Hicks. We appreciate your time as always.
Yep, thank you for having me.
All right, these folks still fired up from that big shutout win over the rival Raiders. Tell me about that shutout win. Obviously, the game plan in there was still hold them down, but 31-0, not give them anything. How did you guys do that?
Yeah, I mean, all sides of the ball, they came together, did their part, and at the end of the day, we got the job done. You know, I don't think we punted until the fourth quarter, so that was pretty crazy. And so, yeah, offense just rolling, getting back into their groove. It was awesome.
Yeah, offense basically came out in the third quarter. Patrick Mahomes didn't even play the fourth quarter because they scored touchdowns on their first four drives. That's got to make it a lot easier on you guys on the defensive side.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, you guys didn't allow a third or a fourth down conversion from the Raiders. Y'all only gave up 95 total yards. How?
Yeah, I mean, starts at the front seven. You know, the D-line, linebackers, they're all doing their job, holding their gaps, and stopping the run. That was like our main objective for that week, and being physical, out-physicaling the opponent. And so then the DBs on the back end, stopping every pass. I mean, it was awesome seeing all parts of the defense come together.
Yeah, the Chiefs offense had 30 first downs. The Raiders ran 30 total plays. I mean, the disparity in the stats in this game are crazy. You and I were talking earlier. Have you ever been a part of a game like this outside of high school?
Yeah, no. College, at the college level, I've never been a part of that, and then this was my first time at the pros, so it was awesome.
Yeah, awesome indeed. And the defense has gotten a lot better from the first couple of weeks. You're allowing 17.7 points per game now. That's third best, and you're only allowing 171 passing yards, fourth best in the NFL. How's it changed? How have you guys gotten over the miscommunications or the deficiencies that you had early in the season?
Yeah, it was just getting back to the basics. I think, you know, just starting at the communication level, make sure we're getting everything down, that everyone's on the same page. And so once we fixed that, I mean, now we're all rolling as one, just playing as one band. So it was awesome to be out there and be able to communicate with the guys, getting all the checks in, seeing stuff like that.
Spags tells us media folks when we're assembled there early in the season, like, guys, give me a couple of weeks. It might take 5 or 6 games to get the guys where I want them. And I'm sure he tells you guys that too. How tough is it to just stay the course and to know that it will work at some point?
Yeah, I think it's just figuring out what works and what doesn't, and different personnels within the defense, seeing what guys go out there, what's best for this run or this pass, and so all that comes into play each week, and finding the best guys out there to go out there each week, definitely one of our things.
Yeah, indeed, the defense has definitely evolved. Let's go back to the Chargers game. First of all, it was like playing an international game. How about that setting?
Yeah, I mean, Brazil was crazy. That was my first time being there, and that far away. That was the first time I ever ate breakfast and lunch on a plane. So didn't get much sleep though, but it was awesome playing out there. Different environment. A lot of the fans have different teams on, so you got Dolphins jersey.
They were all over the place.
Yeah, but it was awesome. But at the end of the day, we had to go out there and do our job.
Yeah, it didn't work out as well for you the first game, and then the Eagles game, another tough game, of course. That didn't work out. A couple things went wrong again, maybe miscommunication. So what happened in that game, do you think, that didn't allow you guys to win?
I think, penalties are a main thing. We talk about that each week, how penalties can, make or break a team, especially in just being disciplined in your technique, stuff like that. Guys, might be after the play, some chippiness.
Sure.
So stuff like that, just making sure we're locked in, playing through the whistle each game and doing our technique.
Tush push, what do you think about that thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but, if it's a part of football, then, so be it.
You see the Vikings defenders lay down, literally lay down.
Yeah, right.
Is that a new scenario or a new way to stop it?
Might be.
I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that ever again. Maybe in the Super Bowl. Who knows? Giants game, you guys really turned it around, only allowing 9 points. What clicked in that game?
Yeah, just coming off those few weeks, that we were hungry for that win. And, offense doing good. They're starting out strong. And then defensively, we're playing physical. That's one thing that we pride ourselves in, just playing physical, make sure the opponent feels us.
Yeah, we're looking at there. You had 2 interceptions in that game. The defense did. C-Roll Wallace and Jalen Watson. Obviously, turnovers are a huge factor on defense. So when did that start to click for you guys?
Yeah, we knew that offense, they like to throw the ball deep, take shots, and so that was something that we were willing to stop. And obviously we got out there, did their job, and a few guys made plays, big plays, and that helped the turnout of the game.
Cam Scadaboo, dude's fun to watch from a fan. How about to play against?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough runner, of course. But I played him in college, too, when he was at ASU.
Right.
He's always been a problem. But props to him, he's doing good, Hard runner, there's not a lot of those runners in the league now.
No, not at all. And then the Raiders game, we'll talk about that a little bit. You shut down pretty much Derrick Henry. He had some injuries. Lamar Jackson didn't get to finish the game. So, again, just evolution from clicking from the Giants game. What did you take from the Giants game to use in that game?
Yeah, another thing was turnovers. I believe Leo had a really beautiful pick there in early of the game, and just going off that and just making sure we're opposing our will on the opponent and just keep pounding on them. Don't take your foot off their necks.
Yep. Leo had one, and Drew Tranquil had that fumble recovery. And then you go to the Jacksonville game. We know how that ended up. 31 points the most. Y'all giving up. Rough game. Trevor Lawrence is always hard, especially a running quarterback.
That's a guy who can do it all. At the end of the game, he just went out there and made plays for his guys and got them the dub. But obviously, we just got to, key in on those details. I believe there was more penalties in that game.
13, yes, sir.
Yep, and that was one thing that beat us.
Yeah. What about Nick Bolton's play on the goal line where he jumped up and caused the fumble? I mean, the timing on that thing was immaculate.
Yeah, I remember I was drinking water and I hear everyone cheering. I'm like, what's going on? And I see the ball fly up, and it was awesome though. Guy having him on our team means a lot to us, and he's a very special guy. Making those types of plays. Very smart player.
Yeah, there it is. Great stuff. We watched the replay like 10 or 12 times just to make sure that he didn't get over the ball. Just the timing on that to do that from Nick. I mean, what can you say about him?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a smart player. He knows what's coming. And so just having a guy like that on my team means a lot, and he's just a big impact player on our defense.
All right, let's go to the Lions game. Obviously a big offensive unit on that team, a lot of skilled players to shut down all those guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown, their two running backs, the two-headed running backs, and then Jameson Williams, and then Laporta. How did you guys key on one person and shut most of them down?
Yeah, we knew that just stopping the run, that's the main thing, stopping the run, and all else will fall into place. We knew that they were going to try and take their shots with their, three threats. And so just stopping everyone was, buying in that week. We're locked in.
Locked in indeed. Well, the Chiefs are definitely locked in, according to the folks who seem to know what's going on in Vegas. I know you don't know anything about this, but the Chiefs are the favorites to win the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, right now. We'll talk more about last year's Super Bowl when we come back. More with Chief Safety Jaden Hicks right here on Kansas City Huddle. Welcome back to Kansas City Huddle. Man, we got a lively crowd here. This is fantastic. This is what happens when you shut out the Raiders, man. The city's on fire. They know we got a Monday night game coming up. We'll talk a little bit about Monday Night Football here in a minute. But first, we just saw Rashee Rice. Him being back, man, really helps the offense, probably the locker room as well. I know he was in the facility during the suspension, but what does having him back mean to y'all?
Yeah, I mean, he's brought the swagger back to the offense. Our offense was rolling in the first couple weeks, but having him back, that just completes our whole thing. And, we're scoring now a lot, and so it's good to see out there.
Yeah, and that obviously helps you guys on the defensive side when the Chiefs offense can go out there and put up 28 points just like that.
Most definitely, you can lay back, No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, we'll take this playoff. No, kidding. It doesn't happen that way. We're going against these guys in practice now that the offense has its full arsenal. Obviously, it makes you guys better. How hard is it to guard all these dudes?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speed out there, and just guarding one. Sometimes we have to double guys, so there's not going to be enough doubles for all of them. So at the end of the day, we got a great receiver crew, and they're all threats.
They all had moves. I mean, dance moves and touchdown celebrations. Do you have one lined up for when you get your next pick?
Oh yeah, we got a few lined up. It's going to be similar to the offenses. We like what they do, but that's why I'm saying, like, they got their swagger back. Everyone's dancing. We're all having fun.
Indeed. Has the mood changed from the first couple losses to now? Or I know y'all try to keep it as even keel as possible, but has the mood in the locker room changed?
I feel like, going 0-2, it was a bit of a challenge in the locker room, but we knew where we had to go, what we had to do. And so it was never a mood change. There was definitely, a click that had to turn. And so being out there with the guys, practice day in, day out, coming together, and now we're winning. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know you told us in August that you want to be more of a vocal leader now in year 2 than year 1. How's that going, and how do you become a better vocal leader?
It's just all about consistency. Being out there, make sure you're calling the plays right, being a leader out there, and that just comes from reps, stuff like that on the field, and so you get the respect of players.
Differences from year 2 to year 1. Obviously in year 1 you don't know what you don't know, but what have you learned not only about the NFL, the Chiefs, and yourself in year 2?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn from each week. There's just a new team every year, and that's with the opponents and our team. So, just learning different guys, learning different offenses, all that stuff comes to play. And, you can also have too much information that might slow you down. So I try not to do that. But no, it's been a great year so far, and learning more and more about this defense it's helped a lot.
No paralysis by analysis, right? There you go. And off the field, easier now in year 2. You're in a setting that you know where you're living, you know where things are in town. A little bit easier.
Yeah, most definitely. I know where the good food spots are at, so not much to complain about there.
All right, let's go back to last year's Super Bowl. Obviously, we know what happened in that, but to play in the Super Bowl in your rookie season, man, what are your memories from just that week and the game?
Yeah, it was like a dream come true, being able to play in the Super Bowl my first year. Obviously, didn't get the win, but I feel like there's more Super Bowls to come and to play in, so I'm not worried about that. But NOLA, that was an awesome environment. They had a big crowd out there, and the food as well, the culture. I love all of it.
Yeah, it was fun. We actually got to do a little bit of that with y'all. It was great. 3 interceptions last year. Again, hopefully one coming up on Monday night.
That's right.
Where do you keep those interception balls? You have them on the mantle? You give them on? Where are they?
Yeah, so I actually have casings for them. They're all set up in my room right now, but there's 2 now that I still need to hang up or get cases for. But yeah, they're all in the case.
Do you have room for more?
I'm running out of room. So.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
We might need to get you a bigger shelf or
Exactly.
another shelf. All right, good stuff. Well, we'll talk more about Mr. Hicks' personal life. How about his game day drip? Who picks out his outfits? That and more coming up when we return right here on Kansas City Huddle. Welcome back to Kansas City. How about that? How about that change? A little Flav to Flav look there.
Big one.
Maybe you can rock that when you get a pick. Interception
Turnover
chain.
Turnover chain.
How's that?
Yeah.
I did a double take. I thought Coach Reed was here going to make us run some laps or something there. I see you, Matt. All right, very good. Let's talk about the Commanders game coming up. Jaden Daniels, we still don't know about his injury, if he's going to play or not. But when it's quarterback's injured and may not play, how do you prepare? You got to look at 2 different guys, right?
Yeah, definitely that's a big aspect in the game of the quarterback, But I feel like whoever's out there, we still got to give our best, play to our advantage in our game. I feel like that's the main thing.
Commanders are coming in a little banged up. One of their big receivers obviously is out, Scary Terry. We don't know if he's going to play or not right there. They're lost their last 2 games, so they're going to be hungry to get a win. You guys are coming off a big emotional win over your rival. Any chance of a letdown?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
With our offense rolling, the pieces back together, I feel like, there's not a game that we can't win. So, we're going to go out there and shine.
I didn't think so, but, I just had that. Monday Night Football under the lights at Arrowhead. Thoughts on playing on Monday night?
Yeah, back home, I love the environment, all the fans showing out, one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been a part of. So it's awesome being out there.
Indeed. What's your preferred game time? Which do you like the best?
I would say around 5 p.m. It's not too late, not too early, just right in that sweet spot.
Had the noon game, the first one of the season this last. How is that?
that was like breakfast. Like, you know, you're waking up and you're like, okay, gotta go play. But no, it's just another game. It's awesome, you know, bright and early.
Tell me about the morning routine on a noon kick. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, definitely gotta get up earlier. Can't sleep in.
Like 6 a.m.,
Yeah,
7 a.m.?
Yeah, 6 a.m. And then orange juice, you know, some breakfast, eggs, and then, you know, showering, getting ready to head over to the stadium.
All right, when you get to the stadium, do you have any game day rituals? I mean, do you try to park in the same spot? Do you take the same route? Do you have any superstition, things like that?
Always taking the same route, but not too big on superstitions. I do have the same prayer before every game. Just keeping the warm-up the same as well. You know, I don't try to do anything different with the warm-up, just getting the body right and warm.
What does your warm-up entail? Do you do anything different than any of the other guys?
Yeah, I do a little bit different. It's all the way back from high school. Like, I've been doing the same warm-up, yeah.
What does it look like?
Yeah, it starts off with A skips, B skips, C skips, and then getting faster, high knees, and then doing all our sprints.
You got your ear pods in. What are you listening to?
Yep. I got a few game day playlists, so there's a lot.
Just a mix of stuff?
Yeah, variety.
All kinds of good stuff. All right, what about getting dressed? Do you left shoe guy first, right shoe guy first? I mean, some people are weird about this stuff.
Yeah, no, people wear the same socks too. But,
wait, from each game?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
You would know if they were from each game, I think, right?
Some socks look a little dingy. You know, so.
You need to get Alan right on that. Get some bleach out there. All right, what about your game day drip? I mean, I'm fascinated by how big this is becoming. People always want to see what y'all are wearing coming in. How's your fashion sense as we take a look at some of your game day outfits?
Yeah, so my game day outfits, mainly they come from me, my visions. I do get a help from family, you know, some friends, but for the most part, you know, I'm choosing these outfits out. So whatever I feel.
Different from road and home. I know Patrick Mahomes' business trip, and a lot of guys are business trip on the road. Do you ascribe to that?
Not really. I know some people like to wear the suits on away games. You know, that's a business trip, but this past couple of weeks, I wore a suit on the home game. So, you know, it was just what I was feeling good out there, and obviously played good. So, you know, not much to it.
Feel good, look good, play good, right?
That's right.
All right, so speaking of good, you're doing a lot of good work in the community. You have an upcoming toy drive, and you have a new foundation. Let us know about that.
Yeah, that's correct. Jaden Hicks Foundation. I'm partnering with KC Children's Hospital and Mercy Hospital, so it's going good. You know, we got the things lined, and everything's turned out good. So I'm excited.
Do you have a toy drive coming up here?
Yep, toy drive on December 1st, when we'll be having it.
I heard you were hanging out with the kids yesterday, a couple days ago, and some of them actually beat you in Uno.
Yeah, I got to play Uno with one. Unfortunately, I lost, so props to him. Props to Sean. Shout out Sean.
There you go. Hey, man, if you're going to lose, do it during the middle of the week and not on game day, right? Good stuff. All right, the audience questions. We got a whole bunch of them. They're coming up when we return right here on Kansas City Huddle. Y'all stick around. Welcome back to Kansas City Huddle. Audience question time for Chief Safety Jaden Hicks. Rylan wants you to describe your relationship with Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, Coach Spags, man, that's a guy, you know, who's going to give it to you straight. And so having to take that with a grain of salt each week, you know, he's a good coach, though. Love playing for him, and, you know, what he has to do with being a man off the field and on the field. It's special.
Indeed. Derek wants to know what's your favorite hobby outside of football.
Just to name a few, I like video games. I like fishing. I think fishing is a big hobby that I like to do.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of teammates will go out, fish on the lake. You know, it's awesome. It's good.
Are you skinning the fish and cooking them as well?
Nah, I don't do.
You're not taking them off the hook. You're not touching them.
I don't touch the guts.
You're just catching them. All right. Natalie wants to know the biggest difference for you between college football and the NFL.
I feel like between college and football, there's good levels on every aspect of college and NFL. I feel like it's just more tuned up in the NFL. You know, there's more guys, and you know, with backups, especially college, you might have a walk-on that's a backup.
Sure.
But in the NFL, everyone's good. You know, there's not really a step back from who goes out there and who doesn't.
All right. Well, keep up the good work, sir. We appreciate your time.